What is up, guys? Today I have a very special video for you. We are going to take a look at Robin on the Creator Experience server, which will allow us to take an early look at her kit, test her out in the Memory of Chaos or Pure Fiction, and generally speaking get an idea about how she works. As a disclaimer, real quick, this is from the Creator Experience server, and because of that it is still subject to change. But most likely what you're going to see here will also be what you're going to see on the live server. Also, this is literally my first impression when it comes to Robin, so it is not going to be some type of hyper min-maxed guide. It is just for you guys to get an early preview of the upcoming character in Star Rail. Like I said, we will take a look at her kit, we will compare Eidolon 0 to Eidolon 6, and we'll also take a look at some of the better light cones and relics for her. Either way, let us get started. Robin is a physical character who follows the path of harmony. In doing so, she specializes in supporting follow-up attack characters by increasing your crit damage, your attack, and generally speaking your overall damage. However, you can also use her in normal teams like an Archon team, for example. The only downside is that you would lose out on one of her bonus traces where you do 25% increased crit damage for basically all of your follow-up attack characters whenever her ultimate is active. For this, her overall playstyle is very simple. Your talent will give your entire team more crit damage while also giving her the ability to restore 2 energy for herself whenever one of your allies attacks. Obviously, this will excel in follow-up attack teams, and because of that, you basically get the most value out of Robin if you use her in a follow-up attack team. When it comes to her skill, you simply increase your damage by 25% for all allies for 3 turns. So a really good skill for any type of team composition. It is indicated by a small feather symbol on your buff bar, but, and now comes a big cherry on top, it becomes even better when we take her ultimate into consideration. Vox Harmonique Opus Cosmique, and I don't know, is that the way you pronounce it? I don't know, man, Latin is a dead language, so yeah, just kidding. Either way, her ultimate will allow her to enter the Concerto state. And when in this state, first of all, she will live up to her name as Penacony's superstar. Just listen to this, man. Her ultimate is super unique. Amazing, right? When it comes to actual gameplay mechanics though, she will give your entire team 100% action advancement, so everyone gets a free turn, and she will also increase your team's attack based on her own attack, which already tells us what type of stat Robin wants to go for. She wants to have as much attack as she can get. She is quite literally eating it up left and right. Moreover, every single time one of your allies attacks, she will deal additional physical damage to them. This once again scales off her attack, and it has a 100% fixed crit rate as well as 150% fixed crit damage. Eidolon 6, which we will talk about later on, will increase this effect, and once you have Eidolon 6, Robin will hit like a truck. But we are not done yet. Furthermore, she is completely immune to any type of crowd control, and now comes the big part, she no longer takes any action until her ultimate ends. The ultimate itself will appear on your action bar, similar to Jing Yuan's ultimate, and once it takes action, Robin's ultimate is over and she immediately takes action herself. Now remember how I said her skill becomes better due to her ultimate? Basically, always use your skill before you use your ultimate. Due to the fact that she doesn't take any turns during her ultimate, your skill will not lose out on any turns, on the buff itself. So really good. And that is basically the core gameplay loop of her entire kit. Simply buff your characters 24/7, that is kinda all there is to it. But obviously we still have her passive traces. Those traces don't necessarily make her gameplay loop better, but they increase her efficiency. First we have Impromptu Flourish. Basically you get 25% increased crit damage to all of your follow-up attacks. Sequential Passage, which is her second passive trace, will give you 5 energy whenever you use your skill. And Cadenza, her third passive trace, will give you 25% action advancement whenever a fight begins. Lastly, we have her technique. This one is really adorable. When using it, you will turn all enemies around you into fans. In fact, they like Robin so much that they follow her around everywhere. I guess in a way you found a bunch of groupies. And if you decide to attack them, Robin will generate 5 energy at the beginning of each wave. And yeah, that is her entire kit. Really simple but also super powerful, especially if you use her in follow-up attack teams. And if I'm not mistaken, we don't have any support character specifically for follow-up attack teams, so in a way, she is the first of her kind. Now, before we move on to our Eidolon 0 and Eidolon 6 showcase, let us quickly take a look at some of the relics you can use on her. As far as I know, Robin does not have a cap on her attack. Once again, keep in mind, creator experience server, so subject to change. But what we are going to do is very simple. We are going to use a 2-piece musketeer set and a 2-piece prisoner set. And we will stack as much attack as we can get. Our boots will use speed as a main stat though, because we are going to use a space sealing station as our ornament set. So we need 120 speed for the full effect. On our planar sphere, we are going to use attack, and on our link rope, we are going to use energy recharge, in order to have her ultimate up more often. When it comes to her light cones, we are going to use her signature light cone at refinement 1 for our E0 showcase, and once we do our E6 showcase, we will upgrade it all the way to refinement 5. When it comes to other light cones, you could use Ronya's signature light cone. It is quite literally perfect for any type of Harmony support character. Or you can use Ruin May's light cone, Past and Future, Dance Dance Dance, or even Dreamville Adventure. All of them work. Alright, so for our showcase, we are going to do Pure Fiction. Pure Fiction, in my opinion, is one of the best activities for follow-up attack characters, and obviously because of that, we are going to use Robin in a team composition where she can bring out her maximum potential. Our team is going to be Robin in combination with Aventurin. This is going to be the very core for our composition. Hyhwe works as well, by the way, because she buffs attack, but today Aventurin is going to take the spotlight. Now, who are we going to use in our DPS slots? Let's see. You could use Clara technically, and in this case you can even use the Penacony ornament set, the one that increases your damage by 10% if you follow the same, not path, the same type of damage as the character that is wearing it, right? But in our case we are going to use Topaz as the first DPS, and Herta will join her as well. Alright, so this is our team. Let us now see how good it is going to perform. Now, as you watch the footage, let me highlight a few aspects here. Like I said, all of them are at Eidolon 0, except for Herta, and all of them use rank 1 light cones, or refinement 1 light cones. They are using their signature light cones though, but in turn their relics are really bad. Like, most of them don't have crit rate or crit damage on them, so yeah, I mean, that's creator experience server for you. What can I do? Something that is also really interesting, which you will see throughout the video quite often, is that whenever you're using a follow-up attack team, you're basically looking at no downtime on Robin's ultimate. All of the follow-up attacks, as well as her skill after her ultimate ends, are going to be enough in order to let her use another ultimate. So it's basically ultimate 24/7, right? Which is amazing, really, really good. Besides that, there's not a whole lot to it. The team itself is fairly simple to use, and it is also really good in auto combat. With that, let us now move on to our Eidolon 6 showcase. For that, I obviously need to explain her Eidolons first, so let us quickly do that. Land of Smiles will give you resistance penetration whenever her ultimate is active, so basically all the time. Afternoon Tea for 2 will give your team speed whenever her ultimate is active, and it will also increase the energy regeneration you get from her talent, which technically opens up your team composition a little bit, so you can use other characters besides 2 follow-up attack characters. Her third and fifth Eidolon do the same as her always do, and Raindrop Key will allow her to dispel any kind of crowd control whenever she uses her ultimate, and on top of that, you will also get 50% effect resistance for your entire team. And finally, Eidolon 6, Moonless Midnight, we talked about that earlier. It will increase the crit damage modifier on the extra damage you do while her ultimate is active by a whopping 550%. So this one is massive. And with that, I will leave you guys. I will let the Eidolon 6 showcase play out at the end of the video, but you don't need me for that, right? You can watch that by yourself. If you liked the video, then feel free to drop a like or a sub. I hope you are as excited for Robin as I am, and I can't wait for her release in about a week from now. In my opinion, she is a character who will join the upper echelon of characters like Ruin Mei, though keep in mind, in her case, it is specifically for follow-up attack teams. As always, I wish you all a great day or night wherever you live, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.